So is that what you're thinking too? They're putting like a plate underneath there to tunnel the wind underneath the car out the back?
Well, yeah, I was kind of trying to decide, because one affected performance points so much. I figured it might actually make a difference in performance, but it also moves a lot more air. So on a car like this, it turns out actually that was the only one that was available, was the one with the like vertical fins on it, for lack of a better word. But I was wondering if, because this car is kind of a dog at this horsepower, I was wondering if I could create a little less turbulent, less resistance under the car, if I might be able to speed it up a little. But turns out it was moot anyway, because the only one available for this car was that.
Good night, Cone.
Yeah, I'm out.
Night, Cone.
Good night.
I'm starting to fall asleep. I'm like, yeah, I'll just let Scott finish up and then say, good night, everybody.
1 minute, guys. 1 minute.
I'll catch y'all later.
Have a good one.
Man.
Yeah,
Good luck, you guys, with the race.
Thanks.
Oh. How much time do we got until start?
1 minute, not even.
You know, I still can't spectate because
Yeah.
anybody. So
As soon as I start it,
yeah.
we'll see. Yeah, it's weird how that does that.
Yeah, earlier when I was in your room, I could see everybody right off the bat.
Okay, guys, starting. Have a good one.
Well, good
Thanks,
race,
man.
everybody.
Good luck, Nigel.
Welcome everybody to GTCA Championship Series. This is race number 12 between Nigel and Scott.
Make a clean start for both.
Yes, looks very clean. As they head into the front corner, they're side by side. And they both take that corner fairly clean, with Scott pulling out ahead of it, going into the S corners. Scott's gaining a little bit of time on 1.4 as Nigel tries to bring him back.
I should have dropped out.
Heading into the tunnel roll, Scott is pulled away to a 1.9, 2-second lead on Nigel as they head down to the hairpin. Scott takes that clean. Nigel scuffed out a little bit. We'll have to adjust that time at the end. Probably 2 seconds there, but as they head into the back straightaway, Scott's now got a 3.9 second lead as he crosses the line. With a 146 to 77.25. into the first corner, the lead's opened up to 4.5 seconds. As they're heading into the S corners. Nigel put down the best time there of 28.4 in that first section of the S corners. Scott's going into the last 90 before tunnel roll. As he goes into the back straightaway here on the second lap with the gap of 6.5 seconds. Nigel just heading into the tunnels now as he tries to hopefully bring him back. Scott's coming up to the hairpin. And he takes it a hair wide, but is able to maintain his speed. And Nigel comes in and takes a hit. As Scott heads into the back straightaway. And puts down a 1:37.848. Nigel's coming into the back straightaway now as well. Puts in a 1:47. Scott's heading into the S turns on his third lap. And he takes them fairly clean. And Nigel is just heading into the S corners now with a 13.7 second deficit. Scott comes into the last 90 before tunnel roll. And he's increased his lead to 15 seconds. But that will be adjusted for the two issues that Nigel had earlier on, which will probably be an 8-second adjustment. 2 seconds for the first and 6 for the second. As Scott heads into the hairpin here. And he takes it clean as he heads into the back straightaway for his third and final lap as he heads to the start-finish line. As he comes across the line, puts in a 1:37.847. As we're waiting for Nigel to come across. And Nigel comes across 17.916 seconds behind, but we're going to be taking off 8 seconds of that, which will put it 9.91 seconds. Just so everybody knows.
Man.
I will work out the time here and then I will give that
Good job, guys.
Thank
you. Everyone is, man.
Yep.
Tonight is biting everyone.
So guys, just jump on the track and just put a couple laps down. Scott, you need to be faster though. So Nigel, just watch his time and make sure you're putting a little bit slower.
I'm gonna have to back out of the chat for the second race.
No problem.
Several have.
That's a pretty sweet looking Alpine you got there, Alpha. I like that color. With the rims, that looks good.
Yeah, it does look good.
Okay, so the time difference works out to 8 seconds. So Scott, you will be holding the brake for 8 seconds when we start the second race.
Okey doke.
So once you guys have run a couple laps, we will start the next one.
Crap.
After this race, we have one more race with Jay and Chris, and that will end our round 2 as we go into round 3. And that should be starting here beginning of next week. I know Jay and Chris have been talking, and I haven't touched base with them when they want to race, but I think if it's not tomorrow, they'll be doing it early Monday again, which is fine.
So we won't find out who we're running against until then.
Well, I have all the matchups except for one race. That'll be it. And so if after tonight, after this race, I'll be posting the round 3 series also, so you can see, everybody can see who they're racing. This race here will determine who's racing Preston. And then the loser, right, so then the next one will be between, and Nigel will be racing the winner of Jay, or sorry, whoever loses here will be racing Jay or Chris. That was a faux pas. Don't read anything into that. Go on. That was terrible.
So I was sitting there going, what? How does he know? Wait a minute, whoa.
So I had a cousin who did all the sound and music stuff for the Edmonton Oilers games. And the Edmonton Oilers got fined a $20,000 penalty because with 3 minutes left to go in the third period, the Oilers were up by 1 game, and the next game was going to be like 3 days prior. And he had his announcer say, so come out for Wednesday's game to see if the Oilers can win 2 in a row. And the game wasn't over, and the NHL fined them for it. Alright guys, I'm gonna start the race. So I know that
I think candidate lagged out.
He jumped out completely here. Well, we'll give him a moment to come back on.
Yeah, I saw that he had a network error.
Okay.
Error.
Yes. But yeah, so he got the Oilers fined by 20 grand just for that one comment.
Man.
That sucks.
Thank goodness I'm not being fined here, but anyhow.
There he is.
On the voice chat? I never saw. Oh. Well, so yeah, if you had to restart things, it'll take a moment for the GT7 to open up for him again. Once it does, we'll get this going for the second race.
At least I think I saw him get back in the chat. He hasn't said anything.
Well, that part jumps up right away, right? Because it's as soon as the station comes on. Yeah, no, I don't see him there either.
Ah. I did see that. I'm not crazy.
You saw Stacy coming in.
No, you're still crazy. It's just
Yeah.
you saw it too.
My wife wouldn't argue with that, so.
Yeah. Whoops.
Oh, and there goes Squints.
That was accident. I meant to go change my car.
So we'll be starting the second race soon. It looks like Scott had a mechanical issue and he has his mechanics going over his car quickly. So once he's got that resolved, we'll be back on the track again.
So Brad,
Yes,
I was wanting to know if you had a minute.
I have a minute.
I was wanting to talk to you about your car's extended warranty.
My car extended warranty? My car has 198,000 kilometers on it. I just looked at it today. So my extended warranty ended, 50,000 kilometers ago.
He wants to sell you a new one, though.
I think you need a warranty just in case it goes.
Ah, I see. And I just put brakes on it for $900. Well,
Yeah.
because these minis now are owned by BMW, nothing's cheap, right? For parts.
That's right. I remember you telling me about that.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah. I want to hear more about this cake, man. I never heard of one like that. Rose
This is Rose Lemonade.
Rose lemonade cake. Come on.
Yep.
What is this? What is this cake?
She's making it, so I'm just, yeah.
You're not going to try any of it, though, are you?
Well, tomorrow we'll see.
No, she's gonna slap his hand away.
So I actually earlier was making an appleberry salsa for tomorrow. So that's what I was making.
Appleberry salsa.
Yes. And it's with a cinnamon sugar chip that I make also.
That sounds really good.
Yeah. And that one is. He said, yeah, give him a minute, he'll be back on. He just replied on Discord. So
Cool.
Yeah, no, I like cooking. It's one of those things. I actually tried out for MasterChef Canada here, and I went through 5 stages and got eliminated just before the show started.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you try it again?
You know what? I wouldn't. I enjoyed it. You know what it was is I went through everything and then I had a TV interview, and that's where I ended up getting cut. Is I don't have a story. I'm not from a broken home. You know what? I've never had a bad childhood. So I wasn't a character.
Yeah.
I'm pretty low key, but I
And
walked
that's what it
away
comes
with there.
down to.
Yeah. They wanted somebody
want-
they could see, but I
they want
walked
that
away
sad
there with
story.
the chef loving my food. So I walked out going, you know what? That was awesome. I loved that experience. But would I do it again? No, because still don't have a story to tell.
Could always make something up.
Well, I
Yeah.
know. See, and I'm Métis, and I'm not sure if you guys know what Métis is. Métis in Canada, it's part Native and it's part whatever it is, and I'm Scottish and English, and then Cree as well. And she really tried to play the Cree aspect of it, and I'm like, even though I'm Métis, we never did anything, culturally like that, so I couldn't even go with that. So yeah.
Wow.
But that's where she was trying to lead me on the interview, and it just didn't work, right? So, because I'm not going to make things up. That's not who I am.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
it was
that
fun.
sucks that you have to have a sad story to
Yeah.
make it.
It was
I'm
fun,
back.
though. It was a neat experience.
What
Hey,
button
Scott.
did you push wrong, Scott?
I no. I lost the network. I lost the network. Completely.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Scott, you have to hold on to the brake for 3 minutes and 35 seconds. While you were gone, the stewards looked at the tapes, and Anyhow, 8 seconds is your difference right now.
Yeah.
And they're
Okay.
even considering labeling a fine on you too. So.
Right. It's actually showing this.
And
is
you're
showing that I'm
ascended
the
in
only
care of
one.
Ward Picklesheimer at.
All right, guys, I'm gonna start the race. You should see it as soon as I do. And here we go. You'll be on the room. Yes. So remember, 8 seconds. 8 seconds, Scott.
I'm only seeing me on the track.
Well, you will as soon as the race starts. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I see both of you.
I guess I'll stay in the chat because I don't think I can risk.
That's okay.
Pushing that
Just hold on your brakes. And we're on the second race. Oh, an e-fall started, and that's on you, unfortunately. And Scott's away as well.
He did good. He did not break the 8, or he broke the 8-second barrier before he took off.
Yep. And going into the first corner, it's a 6-second deficit. Nigel unfortunately had a false start penalty, which stopped him for an extra 2 seconds, I believe. But as I head into the S turns here, Scott is pushing to gain back some time, and he's at 5.3 seconds behind Nigel. Nigel made up a little bit of time in those S corners as he heads into the first 90. And in the second 90, he had a little bit of a car wiggle there, slowing down a bit as he heads into the back straightaway in tunnel roll. Scott's gained up a bit of time and he's 5 seconds back as they both head into the first hairpin. Or sorry, the only hairpin.
The dreaded hairpin.
Yes. And Nigel takes that fairly clean. And Scott's right behind him. And he takes that fairly clean as well. Gaining 4.6 seconds back as they head into the back straightaway to the start finish line on the first lap. Going across the line, Nigel puts down a 149.8 and Scott put down a 154.5 with the differential added to it. As they head into the first corner, Nigel's still up by 4.2 seconds as he heads into the S corners. And Scott's trying to pull him back. Ooh, Nigel goes wide and bumps the wall there, bleeding off some time. It's going to give Scott a little bit more of those precious seconds back as he's up to 2.2 seconds now. As they head into the first 90 before tunnel roll. And Nigel takes the second 90 fairly clean, and Scott's right behind him, and he does that very clean with a 1.3 second lead as they head into tunnel roll, heading to the hairpin. And as we've seen in multiple races, this hairpin is where the race seems to be won and lost. How clean guys are taking this. And Scott goes a little wide, but manages to hang off the wall. And he's up to 1.1 second behind Nigel as they head into the back straightaway. I think Scott has a little bit more speed in his car than Nigel does, as it's under 1 second now as they're passing the start line. Heading into the first corner, Nigel's still up by 0.8 seconds, with Scott pushing to bring him back, and they both take that corner fairly well. And it's a 0.7 second in this third lap to the finish line. And Scott's right up on Nigel's tail as they go through these S corners. looks like it's going to be another tight one as they come up to the finish lines. Coming into the first 90, Alpha opened up a slight advantage, back to 0.6. Scott right behind them as they both again take both those 90s fairly clean, heading into tunnel roll, and a 0.2 second advantage where Scott's right now trying to make it by Nigel as they're coming down the straightaway. Coming into the hairpin, they're only 1.7 seconds, oh less than that, 0.2 seconds now, separating them as they head into the hairpin here. Scott goes wide on it and comes in narrow, and Nigel went narrow and went out wide as they're coming up onto the last straightaway. And they're nose to tail. But I think Nigel's gonna hold off.
Yeah, we got to run out of the corner.
Yeah, a bit better.
I should have tried to get him in the
Good race.
Good race, guys. Very good race.
I didn't want to make him wreck, so I didn't try to pass him in the curves.
That was a good race, though.
Good race, Nigel.
Perfect, guys. I will be posting this here shortly. And thanks for running tonight. No, that's quite alright.
If I'd have known you were going to beat me, I would have given up on you an hour ago.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right?
Yeah.
Alright, guys, so I'll be posting the times, and then I'll be posting the table so you can see where you're sitting for the next races.
Yeah. I knew I wasn't going to get by you once we came out of the hairpin. I should have tried to pass you in that first 90. Yeah, I was afraid I'd cause you to wreck, so I didn't want to try to pass you there. Oh, good racing. Well, I am gonna have to cut out of here right away, cause Ward, Brad, thank you so much for
No problem.
hanging around to get it done.
That's anytime, man.
Yeah, not a problem. Alright, guys, have a great night. I'm stopping the broadcast now, and I'll be jumping on